name is Victoria and today I will be filming a book review of Prisoner of Night and Fog by Anne Blankman. So first, let's have a quick history lesson about this historical period. Hitler became the leader of a small party called the National Socialists because he found that he was quite a good public speaker. He decided he was ready to overthrow the Munich government in 1923, where he took 3 most prominent members of the government hostage. It was unsuccessful and he was arrested a few days later. He was sentenced to spend 5 years in prison but was released after only 9 months. During this time he wrote Mein Kampf, his struggle. He was appointed as Chancellor of Germany in 1933, 2 years after this story takes place. Prisoner of Night and Fog is set in 1931 when Hitler is really rising to power. Prisoner of Night and Fog is about Hitler's fictional niece, Gretchen. She's not really his niece, she's a close family friend because her father died a martyr saving Hitler. Also, she thinks. A Jewish reporter, Daniel Cohen, comes along and makes her question everything. He tells her that her father didn't die a martyr, that he was murdered. Now, Gretchen's always listened to her Uncle Dolph and done everything she says. She believes that the Jews are monsters. She's never seen one, she's never interacted with one, and she really thinks that they are going to be some kind of hideous. But she soon realises that Daniel is completely normal, and she starts to question other things that her uncle has told her. There's a fierce attraction brewing between Daniel and Gretchen, and together they start investigating the very people that she's considered friends. I wrote this book because she's always been fascinated in Nazi Germany and haunted by it since reading Anne Frank's diary when she was 12. When she discovered that Hitler had a niece, Gelly, who appears in this story, who lived with him in his apartment, she started to wonder what it would be like to be a woman in Hitler's inner circle, which was always very male dominated. So she wrote this book and it was a success. Found really interesting and quite haunting from the beginning as I was reading this book is that you know that it's not going to have a happy ending. We all know what happened in Nazi Germany and the horrors, and as much as you want them to expose Hitler and get him arrested, you just know that that can't happen. The author tackled a difficult subject and she really wasn't afraid to dive right into it. It wasn't the usual cliche Hitler, it was Hitler from a different angle. It was looking into why Hitler is how he is and how Hitler would have interacted with people behind the scenes, behind his public speeches. The author wasn't afraid to put Hitler in it. He was in it a lot. He was in it for most of the book. He was always making appearances, and at the beginning it was especially hard-hitting because she liked him. One thing that I didn't get when I was reading this book, which was so obvious, was that her best friend was called Eva, and it didn't hit me until that part of the book when the secret was out anyway, just exactly what that meant. As I mentioned, the plot is split, the mystery of her father and the romance between her and Daniel, and just general friendship. I liked Gretchen's character. She was strong, she didn't try and hold on to all these wrong thoughts she had for ages. She actually realised her mistakes and admitted, and that is really good in the character. She fought for herself, she wasn't just, obviously there was a romance, but she was never just obsessing over Daniel. That never happened. She went out and tried to sort out her problems and tried to get to the bottom of things, and she was brave and she didn't care what it took. She didn't care if her reputation was tarnished. She just cared about the truth and about the right thing. Daniel was great too. He was brave and adventurous and he was kind. The characters weren't flat, they were deep. There was a lot of development of them throughout the story. Not just development of Gretchen, but development of the side characters too, development of Eva, development of Gelly, even development of Hitler. So a question that this book asks you was, was Hitler truly a psychopath? Was he evil? Did he suffer some kind of childhood trauma or trauma in the world that made him like he was? This book was a fantastic debut, and I gave it 5 stars. Have you read this book? Tell me what you think about it if you have in the comments. I would love to hear your opinions and have a discussion about it. Or tell me if you bought it and you were planning on reading it, because then I really do think that you should give it a go. My social medias are down in the down bar, Goodreads and Instagram. I think that's about it. Thank you for watching this review. I hope I have influenced you in some way, and maybe you learned some history as well. Okay, bye! Do you want to see what I filmed you on today? This is what I filmed you on today. You want a stack of Merlin and Harry Potter and then a biscuit tin like a phone box. Hee hee.